would be in UB from the martial arts club or no?
Uh, it's actually a mix
Okay,
because I since high school I had been cross training.
right.
So, but the martial arts that I practiced at UB was mostly Sancho and boxing, were the
Oh,
two things that I did
okay,
at UB.
okay. And wait, you also train? Did you also train at a gym?
At that time, no, I was
No.
only training once I became well before I became a student at UB.
Mm-hmm.
Was after graduating, I went to Villa Maria, Villa Maria,
Okay.
and then I would go to UB to practice uh, the martial arts there. So that was kind of my gym.
Yeah. Okay. So wait, I thought because I don't remember the first time I spoke with you or met you on Facebook. I thought you were.
Ma'am,
That was a while ago.
ma'am,
um.
martial arts madness.
Oh yeah. See, oh, was that the first time? Was that
Be-
2009 then?
yeah, it was like 2009. There was supposed to be
Ma'am.
a my club was supposed to be included in one of the ma'am
Oh.
promotions, one of the fights.
Okay.
So we had prepared for a few of the matches, but then
It fell
something
through.
fell through, and a lot of the fighters didn't want to accept the matches. So we
Uh.
kind of.
Do you know what concluded with ma'am? Do you know what happened?
I have no idea what happened
Uh.
with Ma'am.
Well, I'll give you a little insight real quick. So the martial arts madness was a illegal MMA promotion. When I
hmm
joined it, I didn't realize that. I didn't even, I was young. I was like 20. Didn't realize that it was illegal. I didn't know MMA was illegal. And the guy who started the promotion was also very young. I think he was 19 at the time. And his
Really?
whole idea was, at least what I seen from talking to him, I have like a lot of our conversations saved because he completely disappeared after the I think the second or third event we had, and he
hmm
had all these promises of actually getting us to go to Peru to fight. Um,
hmm
he had this whole type of program that we were going to be teachers in New York City. So I was going to actually drop everything and move to New York City because he had all these ideas and plans that he was going to have for us. Luckily I didn't make any big leaps. But after our second fight or third fight, like I
hmm
said, and he even had had all these people connected with photographers. So that's why we had like some really good pictures taken for the events.
hmm
He completely disappeared. He took a lot of money for the events that he had, and he completely just he erased all the videos of all events we ever had. Luckily, me being paranoid, I recorded and downloaded everything, all the pictures and videos that
hmm
he had on the website before he deleted them. So the only kind of like acknowledgement left is what I have. All the other fighters have no pictures or videos of the event, like it never existed. And I think
Man.
the whole idea was just for him to make money and to move, and he might have been involved with something with Peru, to be honest.
Ah.
And
Okay.
we when we are getting ready to do the last one, I after the fight, there was actually police there. I left early because
Lucky.
I had to go back to Rochester and catch the bus. And then one of my friends called me. He's like, "Yo," he said, "Where are you?" I said, "I'm getting ready to go back home." He's like, "Oh man, police came to the event." I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, the police arrived." I was like, "Oh my god." He's like, "Yeah." He said, "Apparently MMA is illegal."
Apparently,
I was
we
like,
had no idea.
I thought you could do that. And he was smart because he knew MMA was illegal, but he called the events exhibition boxing.
hmm
You know what I mean? So,
Oh no,
but
good business.
the word got out that it was MMA. So, and we were doing full rules. We were doing ground and pound, and you just couldn't do that at that time. Now
Uh,
that would be no biggie. We wore helmets and everything, but now that would be no biggie. But back then it was highly illegal, and I didn't. My mom was so mad. when she found out, because she thought, going to fight, that's fine, but now that it's illegal, it was
Mm-hmm.
crazy. But
Not cool.
yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how else we met because I know a few people from Rochester.
Oh, okay. Um,
Uh, I'm wondering. Wait, you know Booty, right?
yes, kind of,
Yeah.
kind of. So do you know Steve? Do you know someone? You know Steve? Because he's really
Steve.
Steve.
What's his last name?
Well, I can't remember his last name right now. 2 seconds. Steve. Oh,
Facebook.
Steve Borelli. Steve Borelli.
Steve Borelli.
Yeah, he hangs out with Booty a lot. It
Steve
sounds weird
Borelli.
saying that like that, but
He hangs out with Booty a lot.
he does.
I bet he does.
But yeah, I met Booty through Steve because they would hang out sometimes. But yeah, I really wish we would have met though, man, in person. So
Yeah.
we gotta definitely do that in the future.
I know Booty just recently opened a bar.
Bar, yes, yeah. He bartends
Uh,
too, right?
huh?
He bartends, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he does bar. He's owner and bartender,
Oh
possibly.
wow.
So I said I would go visit him in Rochester one of these days. So I have to do that. So maybe
Let me
there's
know.
a possibility that
We can hang out for a little bit.
I'll probably be in Rochester.
All right. We get some. We can get sparring match in.
Are you also like how tall are you? You're kind
Oh,
of
I
long.
am. Okay, here's the weird thing, right? I swear to God, all right, no lie, I didn't exaggerate. I was 6'1" at one point, right? I'm not lying. I'm serious. Cause I was
I
measured
was
by my
6'1",
doctor, but
but now I'm like 5'10".
huh?
I was 6'1",
I
but
was
now I'm
six
like
one.
5'10".
I wasn't trying to It's weird because when I went to the doctors recently for my physical, they said I was 5'11". But then when I was measured for one of my fights, they said I was 6 foot. So I have no idea how tall I am. Maybe it alters depending on the time of day. I've heard that happening. I'm in my mind, I'm a 6'1" man. All right, or at least six
Man,
foot. I can't say I'm 5'11". I won't accept that.
it's better than me. I've been stuck at 5. I was 5'8", but I
Oh
lost
really?
an inch.
I thought you were way taller.
No, I'm short, man.
What? In
I have
pictures,
a Napoleon complex. Ridiculousness.
in all your pictures, you're taller than everyone, aren't you? Oh
No,
no.
that's camera angle. That's magic.
Oh, that's pretty good then. I swear you were taller than me. You look so jacked, man.
I'm just because I'm short and compact.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
muscles just look bigger.
Well, I'll accept I'm 5'11". Then I'll accept it. It's hard, but I'll accept it. Cause I know people who are 5'11" and I'm taller than them, so I'm not exactly sure how I can be 5'11". I don't know.
Maybe the spine does compress.
With during the day, right?
Yeah, it kind of compresses during the day.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm gonna blame it on. I'm gonna blame it on that. I always want to be taller, but yeah. So that'll be I think that'd be a good match. You know, you definitely have the training conditioning over mine because I've just started getting back in shape, and for me my body type is very difficult to maintain muscle because I'm a vegetarian, I
Mhm.
think, and I can only maintain muscle if I train 5 or 6 hours a day. If I train less than that, my muscle tends to wane, which is not good.
Uh,
So, and I train every
actually,
day. Two of my jobs, I'm teaching and I'm training with, and I'm doing that. And when I do the kickboxing, a lot of that is body weight exercise. And I still, my muscles aren't that big, and I do tons of sit ups, and my stomach is still. It's hard to maintain a 6 pack. So maybe it's just genetics. I don't know.
well, with the next blog post I'm gonna put up soon, hopefully
Yeah,
soon,
yeah.
after I think I have to re-record some videos.
Hmm.
It's about one of the workouts I'm doing with my kettlebells.
Okay.
So it
Well, we.
sucks. It sucks. I hate it. It sucks so bad.
What weight do you use for the kettlebells?
16 kilogram.
Oh, dang it.
It's
Which
like
is
32 pounds.
32 pounds. Okay, okay, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Is it now? Do you talking about you doing ab workouts with the kettlebell?
So I'm doing a thing called pummeling. So I'm doing this. I posted in one of my blogs. It's pummeling. So you kind of it's the same kind of wrestling pummeling, but I'm doing that with a kettlebell on both sides.
Oh, okay.
That I'm also you can also do like kind of you do a sit up and then you press at the end.
Mm,
So it's a lot. It works a lot on the core stability.
okay.
And also doing kind of just racking the kettlebells and doing squats because you have to keep your back completely straight when you're racked. It's also working on core stability.
Okay. You said you are gonna post videos of it or no?
Yeah, I finished. I have a video already kind of recorded, but I
Just
don't like the video, so I want to change it. So I'm gonna re-record the video.
just let it go, man. Just put it out there. It doesn't matter. I literally look at my videos and I hear myself talk. I hate my voice every time, no matter how many times I record it. I'm like, you know what? Forget it. I just press upload. Just let it go. Let it go. It's perfect.
That's I bought a cold drink before we started this, so my voice would be just a little bit deeper because I naturally speak with a higher voice. People always tell me, put bass in your voice, boy. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm talking to a child.
uh, how old are you?
I'm 29. I turned 30 this year.
Oh, okay. When did you wait? You turned
Same age.
31?
In October.
Oh, okay. So wait, you're younger than me? Dang it, man. I'm about to
Oh,
be 30 in July 27th.
hey, you're not that much older than me, mother.
It still counts, man. It still counts. I'm
A
old.
few months. I'm only by about 2 months,
I
man.
know that's too much, man. That's too much. How do you feel about turning 30? Is that you feel like you're gonna be at your peak, or it's gonna start going downhill? I'm worried
You
about
know,
the
I don't feel as there's mixed feelings because I definitely feel like I was stronger when I was like 25,
yeah, yeah, me too.
but I feel like I was stronger, but I feel like I'm capable of doing more. That's weird, right?
Yeah, is it because you feel like you understand your body more? You have more
Yeah,
knowledge.
like
Yeah.
better awareness of
Mm,
my body.
yeah. I remember when I was in my early 20s, I felt indestructible, and so when I fought, I was never afraid. Now every
Yeah,
time I do a competition, I'm like constantly thinking about like, I cannot get hurt. I have to
I
work.
gotta
I have
work
to work
tomorrow.
next day. I have to work. When I was 12, I didn't care. Like, destroy me, rip my head off. I don't care. But now I'm like, okay, please do not like hit my knee at all, because I don't. I want to be able to walk. So that's kind of been a uphill battle with wanting to compete.
I
And I
think the
have,
mindset changes, right?
yeah, completely, completely.
Because yeah, like I think I definitely understand. Like when I was younger, when I was 20,
Hmm.
in my mind, I was like, I can destroy mountains.
Yeah.
That was my goal. I want to punch a mountain. I
Yeah.
want to explode. That's I will train to that point.
All right.
I turned like 28, and I was like, all right, I got to make sure that I can get to work tomorrow morning. This
It's terrible. It's really terrible. I mean, anime inspired me so much when I was
too much.
younger. You know what I mean? I don't know if you have that experience too. Like anime, just like it pumps you up. It makes you want to train hard. But now when you get a job, you forget about all that and you see how realistic life has to be. And part of
Dude,
me wants to like stop competing, but the back of my brain is like the child Jared inside me is like, don't ever give
no,
up. You can do
keep going,
anything. You can
keep
do
going.
anything. You can be
So what anime got you into doing martial arts?
Dragon Ball
That's a
Z.
good question, right?
Dragon Ball Z.
Hmm? Dragon Ball.
that was it. What do
Only
you?
Dragon Ball?
That was the first one I watched. When it used to come on, because I didn't have like I wasn't really I wasn't wealthy or anything like that. I had a lot of friends that would talk about it, and then when it finally
Mm.
came on, I think it was called the Fox Box at the time. When it was early
Was
in
it
the
fun?
mornings, right before school, Dragon Ball Z would come on, the Saiyan Saga, and
Really?
that would really. And then it was showed on Toonami, and I just would like watch it like that. And then I started buying
Yeah.
VHSs eventually. But that was the first one that got me into it. And then Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yu Hakusho, yeah.
Yeah. What was yours? You said what was the one that got you?
So there's like for me there's a mix.
Okay.
So of course Dragon Ball,
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z.
Uh-huh.
Street Fighter 2, the animated movie.
Oh, I have that one. I did see that. I saw that a little bit. I think in my teen years.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one too.
Grappler Baki, the OVA.
Okay. When he had black hair, right?
Yeah, when he had black hair, he entered the karate tournament to get some practice before he fought Shinogi.
Right. When he was drinking the Pepsi or cola.
The flat soda.
I thought that was the weirdest thing. I was like, okay. Is that a whole series? Is that a whole series?
It's a whole series. It's a whole manga series.
Oh.
And then
I was thinking it was just a movie. Because I have that. I must have just the first episode. I thought it was just one movie.
Nah, it was the movie, but it was kind of like after they had already released a few sets of the manga. Then they did that OVA. And then they continued the manga, and then in 2000 something they released 2 seasons.
Oh, okay.
Of a new version of the anime. Yeah, that was interesting.
Okay. So yeah, that definitely pump you up then.
Yeah.
You want to do martial art because I like the new one, Grappler Baki, when he's the redhead. I watched that series like during fight camp when I got 6 weeks training. I'm like, yeah, I want to be like Grap, I want to be like Baki, I want to be like Baki.
He's like climbing the mountain with like his entire rucksack plus freaking weight set. A full weight set with like a good like 400 pounds plus a 45-pound bar and food. I'm like, how the frick?
It makes you want to do it though, man. It makes you say, I mean, if the cartoon could do it, if the animation could do it, I can definitely do it. You know.
I had that. I think for me, I always wanted to throw a Hadouken. I wanted to throw fireballs. That's the only reason why I wanted to practice martial arts.
That was my original. I wanted to do a Kamehameha. That was something I always wanted to do. And I would, similar to the guy. I don't know if you saw that video of the black kid who like really got into trying to turn Super Saiyan, who actually recorded himself doing it.
I remember that.
I would do that in private. I would not record myself doing that.
Likewise,
I really related to his intentions because I would do that in private when no one was around and try to turn Super Saiyan. It was very motivating to watch him because he had courage to the video.
To show the world what he was really doing. Yeah. I couldn't do that.
I couldn't do it. Maybe that's why I haven't turned Super Saiyan. He did.
You don't have the dedication to turn.
But yeah, so anime was definitely a big influence for you would say?
Anime, yeah. Like most people's like, oh, I want to go to Japan because anime is cool. I'm like, I want to go to Japan so I can practice martial arts because anime is cool. And that and also, what was it? Sonny Chiba?
Sonny Chiba,
the karate bear fighter.
Yeah. I watched a few of his movies. I don't know why. I could not get into it. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it was too rough and too violent for me. I mean, it's not though. It's kind of cheesy, but for some reason, like when I first saw it, I was like, "What? This is too violent."
Like, did you see the one? I forgot. It was the Street Fighter where he punches the guy in the head and his eyes pop out of his head.
It's just over. It's extremely over the top, and for some reason, like I was like, I can't watch it. I don't know why. It's not. I don't know what it is about it. It's just I can't get into it like I would. Like I like more of the Jackie Chan type movies.
The comedic martial, but like really.
You're right, because that's kind of how like when I think about fighting, that's how I think of it. Not like I don't want to punch someone, their eyes pop out.
Speak for yourself.
Oh, okay, all right. Maybe you do. Maybe that's why you like it. But Jackie Chan was always my favorite. He my mom introduced me to Bruce Lee because she really enjoyed Bruce Lee. So that was kind of my
Mm.
first introduction with martial
Ah.
arts. Yeah, when I was like 4 years old, she would always, we would sit and watch Chinese Connection and Fist
Yep.
of Fury and stuff like that.
Chinese Connection, Fist of Fury. What else was
Enter the
there?
Dragon,
Into the Dragon.
Return of the Dragon.
We also had Bruce Leroy.
Bruce Leroy. I did not. The funny thing is, I just recently got introduced to him.
No.
Yeah, I never heard of. What is it called? The Last Dragon. Yeah, I never heard of that until recently. And I have the video now. I have the DVD now, but when I was young, I never heard of him, which is kind of crazy.
That was my movie, man.
That was. It's definitely
Who's
good.
the master? So enough.
I wish I would have saw it when I was younger, because it would have, I would have had someone to relate to more, I think.
Yeah.
But Jackie Chan was, after I watched Bruce Lee with my mom, and I saw one. I think the first movie I saw of Jackie Chan was Rumble in the Bronx. That kind of did it. That did it for me. I wanted to watch only Jackie Chan movies. So from the time I was like 12 until 18, I watched just about every Jackie Chan movie out there.
The thing is, like, he not like it was Rumble in the Bronx, where like that was the first time we saw him do that like building jump when he jumped onto the little
and broke his leg.
And broke his leg.
His foot. But I mean, the fact that he did his own stunts. I don't know if he was the first one to do that. Probably like the way he did it is just like, and his action scenes probably. I still think, in my opinion, his action scenes are the best out there. The way he fights and how much effort he puts into it.
Mm-hmm.
He might not be the best fighter or anything like that, but I just,
I wouldn't fight him.
No, I wouldn't either. No, maybe now. I would
may not be the
just
best
for the
fighter.
challenge.
Mess around, get hit in the head with a stool.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. He would fight Jackie Chan rules, but yeah, Jackie Chan was probably one of the biggest inspirations for me wanting to train martial arts. I wanted to do kung fu so bad, but there's no real kung fu schools here. I did Shaolin Kung Fu for like 3 months, and I didn't like it because I didn't think it was practical. I was like 16. At least the style they were teaching, because I was actually able to fight some of their students who were higher belts with just the stuff I learned from books, which is not good. That's not a good sign. So.
Oh jeez.
Yeah.
Wait, so did you also do a lot of study on your own?
Yeah.
Like just lots of martial arts books?
All the way until I was 18. From the time I was probably like 12. I always say 12. I think that's a good setting where I started reading books about martial arts. About 12 to 18, I was just reading books. I didn't really practice. I did wrestling in high school for a year, and I did track and cross country, and it was all intending to make myself stronger for martial arts.
Mm-hmm.
And then I finally was able to start when I was 18. So you got like 4 years experience over me.
I started with books too.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Like I would after school, so I would always go to the library, and I was always reading because they had a small section.
Yeah.
It was just martial arts. So in the sports section, there's like this one long row. It's like martial arts books. So I'm literally in the library for like hours just reading books, taking notes.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Like the security guard who was working at the library, whenever I would leave with martial arts books, this dude, he was huge. Like he would sit there. He was so big, he had no neck. He was a karate black belt. He is a karate black belt, but he would look at the books that I got. And he was like, "Oh, this is a good book. No neck. This is a good book."
It's a good book. This is how you get strong. You get no neck.
I think once I turn like 40, I'm probably gonna lose a few inches in my neck. Yeah. This is just gonna fuse.
Is that's your plan?
I'm just looking at the other men in my family, and the older they got, the less neck they had as the years went on. So.
Oh man, all the men in my family are extremely fat, or extreme. Like my father is not fat though; he's extremely thin.
Mm-hmm.
So, I have those two options. I have a feeling I'm gonna be really, feeble and decrepit when I get old, and just very thin and breakable unless I continue training. That's another inspiration that keeps me going because all the men in my family, when they get like 40, yeah, they start to lose
Wither
it.
away.
Yeah, I don't want that to happen to me. I got to keep training forever.
I think I've already accepted the fact that my ankles and my joints
That
are going to betray me by the time I turn like 50.
you think so? Yeah. Do you have any injuries currently?
I had a bilateral fracture in my ankle, in my foot.
Oh, what? Oh my
So I
god.
have a plate in my ankle.
You do?
Uh, yeah, I have a plate. I have a plate in my leg.
Oh my
I
god.
fractured my fibula on my other leg.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure my toes are like been dislocated so many times, it's just permanently swollen.
Oh my gosh. I did not know that.
Dislocated this finger from a kick. I'm pretty sure this has been messed up because of a kick. My knuckles are messed up. I'm a walking like scar. I'm walking scar tissue.
Oh my gosh. I was just, I just was asking, think you would say like, oh, a little bit. I didn't think I was gonna hear all that. Wow. Is that all from sparring and fighting?
The ankle is from doing tricking.
Okay. I didn't expect that.
That one's not martial arts related.
Recently?
Everything. Hmm?
Recently?
No, this was what year is this? 6 or 7 years ago, maybe. I don't remember directly.
So wait, so you can do flips and stuff?
I could do flips. I haven't.
Haven't done
My
it.
feet haven't left the ground since after
Oh,
the
since that
injury.
happened, yeah. I was never able to do anything like that. I was never able to, and it frustrated the hell out of me when I was a kid because my cousin would do
Mhm.
backflips all the time, and I'm like, oh, that's so cool, man. And I always wanted to, always want to do like a martial arts film, and I just could not get
Mhm.
myself to let my conscience go and just do it because I had a feeling I would just destroy myself after the first one, fall right on my face because I've broken my nose playing hide and seek. So
I think the only reason why I started was because one of my friends,
mm,
he was from New York City.
yeah.
He grew up tricking. Like
Oh,
from high school on, he was just tricking. So he's the one that kind of really introduced me into learning how to practicing tricking.
so
And so we would go to the gym, one of the gymnastics gyms in around the Buffalo area.
uh,
So I was kind of working up from there.
uh,
And then after that injury, not so much.
what led up to that? Was it like what move were you doing? So I don't know.
uh,
I
so,
never do that move.
so I was working on a J step gainer.
Okay, don't know what that is.
So it's a forward moving front flip, back flip.
Oh,
It,
okay, okay.
but you're kind
It's
of
one.
so a
Is
J
it?
step is like
I'm
you
sorry.
step in a J pattern, like kind of like this. You take
Mm.
3 big steps going in a J pattern, so it kind of looks like this.
And you come off at an angle.
Yeah, you come off at an angle, you kick
Mm.
one leg up, and you jump, and you allow the momentum to kind of carry you over.
You're right. Oh, okay.
So one leg landed.
Yeah.
I was doing this in a bounce house, so this is probably where this is my fault. I messed myself up. One foot landed, the fabric, the material compressed,
Uh huh.
so my body sunk. So as my other leg was following,
Yeah.
it had built up momentum and it caught the fabric. Went,
Oh man. Oh. As much
yeah.
as I like fighting, for some reason, hearing people's pain and breaking stuff, that just like makes me sick, makes me dizzy.
Actually, to tell the truth, I didn't feel it.
You didn't feel it? Okay. It went numb completely, quick,
Instantly. I didn't feel a
instantly.
thing.
Yeah. Oh wow. But you knew something was wrong though.
Yeah, because it's like as soon as I landed and like my foot, I couldn't feel my foot anymore.
Yeah.
And I just fell
Yeah.
backwards.
Oh man.
And I looked down. One foot was like this, and the other one was like this.
Oh man.
And
Oh
I couldn't.
God. Oh. Okay. Oh man, that's terrible.
Woo.
How
Don't get
long
scared.
did it take to
Yeah.
recover? Because ankles don't really recover quick, do they?
It took 8 weeks for me
What?
to be able to walk again.
Oh,
About
okay.
8 weeks.
Okay. And you
It's
still
probably,
have.
I think,
Go ahead. What are you saying?
which was from what the doctor said was faster than they had expected.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds very
The
quick.
what was it? The EMT who picked me up from my school, from UB, and they were driving me to the hospital. They got me on the stretcher. They pulled me on. They put me into the hospital, and he was like, "I'm sorry. Is it okay if I take a picture? Because I have actually never seen this kind of injury before, and I want to teach it to my class." I was like, "Sure, go ahead. You take a picture of my foot."
Damn. Oh man, did you get a picture of it? You should have got a picture of it.
Actually, there's a picture of it on my Facebook. I'm pretty
there?
sure.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna definitely when I upload this video, I'm gonna put that picture right there so people can see it.
Here's this floor right here. It's like, oh god.
Oh.
Yeah, it's on my Facebook.
Oh man.
You have to go back a few years, but it's
okay.
Sorry about that.
Sorry, it's okay. I don't know. I cannot like when I saw Anderson Silva break his leg.
Oh, that.
I my booty cheeks just clenched for like days. I couldn't release them because I was so painful looking. I just walked around everywhere like that, clenched. That's painful.
You know, after I watched that fight too. I was at Buffalo Wild Wings. Oh, I love that place. I saw that injury, and I think I swore to myself never to throw leg kicks again. Yeah. I just stuck. Not throwing a leg kick ever again.
Yeah, that would do it. I've seen even worse like in the past. When YouTube first, came out, not came out, but when I first started, using YouTube, I think in 2006, there's I want to say Russia, where a guy broke his leg from a leg kick in 3 spots, and he fell on top of his leg. And
it kind of bent like this. I saw that video.
It looked like it was rubber. Oh god, I was like, what the heck? I still cannot watch it ever again. I will not watch it because it's in my brain, sketched in my brain for life.
I'd watch it. I'd watch it.
You watch it?
I'd watch it.
I might post the clip.
No issues whatsoever. I'll watch it right now.
You gotta watch it right now.
Well, maybe not right now. Once we finish our interview, I'm gonna probably go to YouTube real quick.
But yeah. All right. So let's wind down. We already got a good amount of got a good amount right here. So let's get to
the last question maybe?
Yeah. Let's talk about what are your plans for the future. So you're in Japan now, and you said is that somewhere you plan on staying or returning to?
Okay. So my goals. So I like Japan, but right now the only jobs that I can do would be teaching English.
Yeah.
But because I don't have a master's degree, I can't go anywhere beyond teaching in high schools. And so for me to be able to stay in Japan teaching English and to get a better job, I would have to get a master's degree in education, which would take about 2 years of study and a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I'm in discussions with the girlfriend now. Possibly going back to the States after my 3rd contract.
Okay.
My 3rd year on my contract. So I can go back to the States where we're kind of still talking about where.
Right.
And find a job, get an apartment. Once I settle into my job, I want to start I want to open a gym.
Right. Now, will your girlfriend come with you?
That's my hope. I'm hoping.
Okay. Um.
Hopefully, won't just be girlfriend
Oh.
around that time. Maybe
Oh.
something different. But at this moment, we're still boyfriend girlfriend. But maybe
You're playing tie the
we'll
knot.
level up. We'll level up soon.
There you go. How long have you guys been together? For a while, right?
Going on 6 years in
Oh wow,
October.
that is awesome, man. That is awesome.
I feel a little pressure from the parents. I
Yeah.
think.
They want you guys to get married.
So this is a funny story. So we went to Costco.
Uh,
That was like last weekend. We went to Costco. So I was with my girlfriend, her mom, and her dad.
mm-hmm.
So my girlfriend goes to the bathroom. So I'm with her mom and her dad, and we're walking by the little jewelry area in Costco.
uh,
And she's like, "Oh, but this is in Japan. Oh, doesn't this ring looks really nice, doesn't it?" And it's like an engagement ring. So I'm like, ah, it does look good. I want to buy one. Just let's take a few zeros
right
off the end of that ring, and it'd be perfect. So
Oh man.
I think they're kind of slowly hinting,
Yeah.
hey, it's about that time.
Right.
You're not getting younger.
Yeah.
You know,
6 years is a long time.
it is.
I I've only known Kara for about it's going on 3 years, and I wanted to get married. I've always wanted to get married because I feel like, especially with when I met her, she's just perfect for me. She's got the
It,
right amount of silliness, and she's also got a lot of she's got a lot of motivation to do her business and stuff like that, and she's
mhm.
willing to come here. Tie the knot, man. That's all I'm trying to say. That's what basically what I'm trying to
I'm thinking
say.
about it. I've been thinking about it for a while,
Yeah.
and I think in the beginning I was kind of talking about it too. Um, but she's also a few years younger than me,
Oh, okay.
so
Yeah. I
I
mean,
felt that it would be best to kind of wait.
okay.
You know,
I was wondering how, like, were the parents always on board with
with me.
yeah, because they're they're Japanese.
Hmm.
Is that a I don't know if it's common, but are they how do they feel about their daughter dating a black guy?
Okay, so her parents are not the Japanese norm.
Okay.
Let's say that.
Okay.
So when when I first arrived in Japan, it was to visit for New Year's.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it would be like really good because I had never been to Japan before.
Mm-hmm.
So my first time coming to Japan was for 2 weeks for New Year's, and I spent that time with her and her family.
Oh, okay.
So the first day they picked, like her and her dad picked me up from the airport, and we're going back to the house. I'm sitting in the back seat, sweating,
Yeah. I know that feeling.
sweating. I'm just like profusely. I'm just like, oh my god. Uh, her dad's like in the front seat, not saying a word, stoic. I'm just like,
Oh man.
he's just like, and I'm just like, she's like, my girlfriend's like, oh, everything's all fine. I'm like, uh-huh. So we finally arrived to the house. I grab my bags and I walk to the door. She walks in first.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, oh, we're home. Her mom, I don't know how she got to the door that quickly. I hear she peeks to the door. She's like, oh, hello. But in Japan, it's like, it's nice to meet you. She's shaking my head. I'm like, so my expectations were just all over the place. I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
this is not what
What I
huh?
expected. Yeah.
So it was, her parents are very nice. They're warm. They're very accepting and open,
That's
you
awesome.
know.
That's awesome.
So, like, oh, this is so great. So they've been team Manny and Yori since day one.
Yeah. Oh, that's perfect, man. That's perfect. I mean, it was similar. It was similar. I mean, since I don't live in Thailand, it's been kind of difficult to maintain a relationship and
It's tough. I understand.
yeah, it's tough and interact with their family. But I've been doing it through Skype,
Yeah.
and But the funny thing is, the dad always liked me. The dad was cool with me. He's kind of on the silly side. That's where Kara gets it from. But the mom did
Mm-hmm.
not like me at first, and
She's
she
like,
would,
why don't you just date a Thai man? It's like,
yeah, she
no.
would she would refuse to talk to me sometimes. But
Mm-hmm.
but then after like I would say after like 6 months, um, I would always ask about her. She was ill, really ill, um, for a while, and I would always ask for about her and stuff. And I would talk to her, and then she just got to know me. And now, and I was always talking to the grandma. The grandma always, like when me and Kara first started talking, her grandma or Yai would always be like, "When you gonna marry him? When you gonna marry him?" after like 3 months. And her grandma's adorable. But then after I think the mom saw me talking to the grandma every day,
Mm-hmm.
she really took on to me. Then when I finally got to see him this past November, they're
Mm-hmm.
warm too. And I just think that this is like literally I've dated a few times before, and the family was
Mm-hmm.
never warm to me. None of
Uh,
So this is the first time like a family actually kind of like accepted me, and just it's just the best feeling. So I think that has to be the awesome feeling to know that the family is on board with you, especially after so long. That's perfect,
mhm.
man. That's good stuff.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's a really nice feeling. Like it was one of the things that really kind of solidified it for
Yeah.
me was so while Yori was studying in Buffalo,
Mhm.
I brought her home to meet mom.
Yeah.
So you know how black mothers can be.
Yeah. A little too much sometimes.
Yeah. So I brought my girlfriend in, and she's there to meet my mother, and instantly my girlfriend, she's like straight military. She's like, boom,
Oh.
hello, nice to meet you. I was like, oh snap, relax.
She was
So
asking
my
her a lot
mom's
of
she
questions.
watches her.
Was she asking her a lot of questions?
My mom was kind of my
Smart.
mom can like read people very
Oh.
well,
Oh, okay.
so she was kind of looking at her. She was like, okay, sit next to me. She was like,
Oh.
huh, sit down right here. So my girlfriend sat down, and my mom was like, do you want some crackers and some cheese? She's like, what? And do you like brandy? She's like, what? And
Oh.
so she was like, give me the crackers and cheese. I'm like, all right. So I brought them crackers, cheese, and I gave them the 2 glasses with brandy. I was like, all right, have fun, and I left.
And from that moment, you have no idea what happened.
No, and from there, it's like I let her was just laughing and talking. Like I would
Oh.
peek downstairs a few times just to check, and
Yeah.
they're laughing, talking, watching TV. I was like, perfect.
Ah, that's cute.
So
My mom has not met Kara yet, so hopefully after after we get her visa, she comes down here and they can meet. Because they've only talked on Skype,
mhm.
but I'm really excited for them to finally meet. Because I think she's laughing at me, but I think that would be good. So
Where are
before
we?
before I keep
Where
you
are
on,
we?
before I keep you on in the wee hours, um, because I still have to work and I almost forgot about that too.
That means it was a good conversation.
Yeah, it was
Good.
very good. Yeah, we need to do this more often, just in general. We don't even have to record it.
Will do.
Yeah, but
The banter.
so you said you want to open up a gym. Is there a
Yes.
particular location you're thinking about, or that's all up in the air right now?
So it's kind of up in the air, but because of the possibility of my right now girlfriend,
Yeah.
future, not sure, being able to go to America via her company,
Mhm.
she may be sent to somewhere in Wisconsin.
Oh, okay.
So if she's sent to Wisconsin, then I would
Go
follow
there.
suit, and I would most likely open up my gym somewhere in Wisconsin.
Okay. Okay.
Uh, I would rather move to Canada,
Oh,
but
I remember you said that. Yeah.
but
That.
yeah, if it's Wisconsin or What was the major city in Wisconsin? Started with an M, right? Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. Okay, sounds good. I'm not really familiar with it. How is the weather similar to ours? The Buffalo Rochester weather. They have like
I think it
seasons.
gets cold during the winters, so
Yeah,
I should be used. I should be okay.
yeah. I can I mean, if my mom was not here in Rochester, I would never come back. I honestly would just drop everything and move somewhere where it never gets cold.
My my mom is still in Buffalo.
Yeah.
I'm in another country.
How's that feel? How did how did your mom feel about you leaving, especially to a
She
whole?
was she
What?
was actually really happy for me
Yeah. Okay.
because like maybe Buffalo is similar to Rochester and all their Western New York cities.
Hmm.
It's not a place you want to stay.
Yeah. 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 It's
So
not many opportunities.
hmm?
Not many
If there's
opportunities.
other opportunities, go for them. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. I
So
think maybe I'm like overly close to my mom, like almost like mama's boy type territory. That's why I
mm,
haven't left yet. But I've been having conversations with her that I will be eventually moving to Thailand. You know, at least for a
mm.
little bit. So
I think if so, you're an only child?
I am the only child, and our family is extremely small. I mean,
Hmm.
that's not exactly true. We have a big family. It's just that we don't necessarily uh,
Communicate very well.
we don't communicate. We're not on good terms with all of our family. So we're very
Ah,
it's pretty much just me and my mom. So that's why I think we're so close.
okay. I have so my brother
Mm.
is also
Oh
with my mom right now. So I feel that it was a little easier
yeah,
to leave because I knew my brother was there.
yeah, yeah.
So
That would make it easier.
I'm
Are
pretty.
you close with
Hmm?
your brother?
I'm actually yeah. I like a lot of my mannerisms and the way that I act. I got from my brother.
He's older.
Yeah, he's older
Oh,
than
okay,
I am.
okay. I wish I always wanted a brother. I always wanted a brother or a sister. I just want a sibling. Being an only child is kind of sucky sometimes.
I was a devil of a
Where?
child.
Oh,
I pushed my brother down the stairs every chance I got.
oh my gosh. Oh,
I was that little brother, yeah.
yeah. Because you loved him. That's why you pushed him down the stairs.
No, I'm pretty sure I was trying to kill him.
Oh, okay. All right.
Pretty sure I was trying to kill him
Well,
every chance I.
I thought
Mm.
that was more of an older brother thing to do the younger brother.
Nah,
No,
nah.
I guess it depends, huh?
I think after a while of getting pushed down the stairs, my brother wanted to kill me too.
Yeah. So it evened out.
They had even out for a while.
Is he interested in martial arts too or no?
Yeah, actually, my interest in the martial arts probably stemmed from my brother
Oh,
because he did wrestling and stuff in high school. He was also did some kung fu,
oh wow.
so he had a lot of martial arts books in his room. So I'd always watch stuff like read his books, and we would watch martial arts movies together.
Oh, that's
So
interesting.
kind of everything, the things that I enjoy now, kind of stem from my brother. So if it hadn't have been for him,
Yeah,
I may not have been where I am today.
that that is a key thing. That's cool. I didn't know that. So
Mm.
does he know that? Does he know that? Have you talked to him?
Probably, most
Probably.
likely, I'm pretty sure.
Probably.
Most likely, probably, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, one of those three.
yeah. That's cool. All right. So to close out, because I'm gonna get in trouble soon because I gotta be to work. um. So we learned a little bit about your um, experience in the martial arts, about
Yeah.
your personal life, and about Japan and your plans of coming back and open up a gym,
Hmm.
possibly in Milwaukee or Canada, depending.
Possibly in Milwaukee or somewhere
Yeah,
in the
somewhere.
W.
um, or the thing. What would you say? Someone who's interested in pursuing martial arts. What would you tell them to start doing like right now? It's like, for example, I have a student that just started training with me, and he wants to be this great MMA fighter. What would you tell someone like that they should start doing today? What is like one key thing they should do today, and it should make that into a habit?
To make it into a habit,
Yeah, like what type of
keep an open
mindset?
mind. Hmm?
What type of philosophical mindset should they have? I maybe that
Oh,
might be a loaded question.
always be willing to be the beginner.
Okay.
No matter how good you become or how good you think,
Hmm.
always be willing and humble enough to revert back to being a beginner.
I think that's definitely a good mindset, because I find myself doing that all the time. So right when I
Yeah.
think I know something, I'm like, nope, that I don't know everything. So yeah, I
Mm.
definitely think that's good. Because
I think
I
it's.
definitely want him to hear that from you, because he needs to
Oh,
hear it.
really? Is that what you?
Yeah,
What would you say?
there's reason behind that. I have a little problem instructing people, because I'm very I'm very laid back,
Mm.
and sometimes I try to convey a certain ideology, but I think it's good for them to hear it from someone who has a little bit more experience in other areas that I don't. And for you to say that, because I tell people all the time, you gotta kind of like empty your cup. You know what I mean? You don't want to think that you know everything and you can't put anything else into it. But that's always,
Mm-hmm.
many people have said that before. But I think the way that you described it, always be willing to be a beginner, is a good thing to keep in mind your whole entire career. Even if you become this, good fighter, or you become really skilled at one skill, there's always so much more to know. I mean, there's so many
Yeah.
different styles, and I think a lot of schools I've been to, they kind of take for granted where martial arts came from,
Mm-hmm.
and they kind of like throw out, they like, this is my personal opinion. I feel like MMA, they take bits and pieces of what they consider to be the best of
Mm-hmm.
components of martial arts, but I don't. I think that's, yeah, they're missing the good, the whole entire meat of what martial arts is about. It's not just about being the best fighter, having the best techniques. It's about the whole entire um, process. And
The
I
whole
think,
process, the whole experience.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I think what you said is really important. So I thank you so much for having this
No.
interview with me.
It was
And
actually really fun.
yeah, I learned a lot about you and about Japan culture, which I didn't know. Um, and I hope we have another one. And again, uh, the video might be really awful because it's
No
lagging
worries.
so bad. And
Need
it's
to
hard.
buy a new laptop.
Yeah, I need to upgrade or something, because like when we're talking, I'm like looking at the screen trying to gather. I'm hearing what you're saying, but the picture is doing something completely different. So I'm trying to like kind of match them, and it was difficult. But I think we had a good session. So um, you get some rest, and thank you for coming to the Dragon Tuna podcast. And hope we get a chance to spar one day.
One day, hopefully
One
not
day.
too soon. I'm not trying
Yeah.
to get injured.
Oh, okay. You see what happened to my arm, right? Did you ever see that?
Oh, you not? Do you injured your shoulder, right? It's like dislocation or something.
It's an AC joint.
Hey!
Yeah, you see that? It's a
Woo!
I tore the tendons holding my collarbone in place. The doctor told me 100% damage. I damaged the tendons connecting 100%. Like, I can't injure it anymore.
Separate the entire tendon.
Yep. So that's a permanent look. Collarbone just sticking up. It moves still too. I can move it around, which is probably not
Oh
good for
man.
fighting. But
Ah,
yeah. But I'm gonna catch you later, and
yes.
make sure make sure to check out what is the blog spot again called? a karate
Nerd in
nerd in
Japan.
Japan. Make sure to check out that blog. You said you're gonna be posting a new one in a couple days. Is that safe?
Couple days, yeah. Sometime this week.
Sometime this week. And like I try to keep up with my YouTube schedule. I was supposed to post yesterday and I was not able to do it. We get busy, but yeah.
It gets difficult, yeah, trying to keep up with their scheduling.
Yeah, but definitely check it out because it is a great blog. It has a lot of good information about training. Some stuff I never even considered. So definitely check that out, and I'll be posting a link at the end of this video. So thanks again, and I will talk to you soon.
All right, thank you so much, man.
All right.
Have a good one.
You too.